base prize pool for a big tournament now. That's a really good way to put it in perspective, at least, of how massive this game and just TI as a whole is for these teams. Well, Queen of Pain, Rubik, the 3rd and 4th here for Virtus.Pro, and Lena now the 4th pick for Ehome. So VP getting quite a few heroes that are in their comfort zone. The Rubik Ancient Apparition support duo, a tried and true classic. Great in the laning phase. You can pretty much get guaranteed cold feet proc, just a lot of damage and control that you can put out early on.
It's a little weak versus Bounty Hunter, though. Ancient Apparition has a very, very weak disable, so if Bounty has a Boots and an Orb of Venom advantage and he finds the Ancient Apparition solo, he dies. But I feel like Virtus.Pro has done a pretty good job defending against Bounty Hunter. They have a lot of experience, I'm sure, from their scrims leading up to TI, because the way they play against it is very good. So I assume it'll be an FNG Ancient Apparition going full defensive mode. Lil plays a great Rubik. I saw one of his Rubiks earlier in the tournament. It was fantastic, and they just want the early game heroes. A Quap, actually. Now, Quap was a hero, dominated the beginning of TI, started, maybe not dominating, but was picked dominantly, and then was picked a decent amount, days 2, days 3, and then day 4, everybody's kind of forgetting about it. They're like, maybe that's not our hero anymore. It doesn't have the highest win rate, but they're back on it. And for a 3rd pick, I think that's okay.
I think so, too. Still a very potent hero, and one that G knows like the back of his hand. They'll need that DK Phobos hero with their final pick, smart final ban from Ehome to take out the Earthshaker. We saw it last game, and we've seen him play that aplenty. VP have now banned out the Darkseer. It looks like Ehome will need an offlaner of their own. Not too many highly sought-after options left here. Centaur is still in the pool. That is one that DK Phobos has played a fair bit, possibly what he has in mind. What is Ehome going to pick for ROTK? This could possibly be a Tidehunter. They are one of few teams that do pick the Tidehunter somewhat regularly.
I think it's decent versus AA, good versus Rubik. It's situationally good versus Quap, not so good versus Gyro because he'll eventually get a BKB, but I would like that. They already have 2 potential mech carriers, Razor and Bounty, so I think one should get Pipe, one should get mech because of AA and simply Gyro Rubik, I guess. Like with AA alone, you really got to pump up your survivability, and the mech really helps a lot versus the Blast. So I would like to see them alternate that. There was another team that did that as well, where the Bounty went full pipe and the other core went mech.
I forget which game it was, but I remember watching it. I know exactly what we were talking about. Oh, how could we forget about Tusk? He's made it all the way to 5th pick. That is a rarity indeed in this event thus far.
I like him there. It's a good counter to combo damage stuff. Somebody's about to die, do Ice Blast. You throw him in the snowball, hold him there for 4 seconds, and maybe that'll be the difference in between them dying or not.
Yeah, I like this draft from Ehome. It seems to kind of fit their style here. They'll have plenty of opportunities to be aggressive, some good laners, and decent team fight.
They might just run down Ancient Apparition consistently, honestly.
Virtus.Pro were the ones to take the Tidehunter. Well, VP is definitely switching up their strategy here, Purge. No doubt about it. When they're up against the wall, they're going to try something different. Tidehunter, he's in kind of an interesting place right now. He's really fallen out of popularity. The offlaners that are really cooldown reliant seem to be a little bit less popular. You know, the Tusks where you can just constantly spam those spells and stay very active are kind of in favor right now. But if this Tide gets some farm, he can still do quite a bit of work.
Yeah. The good Blink ultis can completely change games, especially with the team fight abilities that VP has. They're pretty weak on stuns, but as long as they do a lot of pushing and 5-manning before Ehome gets BKBs, then they're absolutely going to be competitive in that sense. They have to worry about Tusk Snowball to dodge things like Ravage, but I think they can do it here. But they need to get the early advantage, I feel. If they get behind, then I think Ehome can very easily deal with them. So the early laning stage is huge. FNG or whoever is playing the AA cannot feed, because that hero is just going to be absolute food if things go bad. Yeah, it is FNG that takes the Ancient Apparition. You're absolutely right about that. That puts Lil on the Rubik, Illidan on his Gyro, G will head mid on the Queen of Pain, and DK Phobos playing that Tidehunter Lil in true Lil fashion. Multiple U's on the fun, that's what I'm talking about. Seems to be in good spirits despite the defeat that they suffered in game number 1. The lane setup from Ehome also seems to be fairly predictable here. CTY will take the Lena mid, ROTK off lane Tusk, and they'll just do a safe lane try Lanham on the Bounty Hunter to get things started, DDC on the Winter Wyvern, and of course Yang here on the safe lane Razor, who did go boots first, ready to chase him down and stack up that static link. Lanham walking into the enemy team. Will they have vision on this? Do they see him? He was pretty darn close. If they didn't. Do they have a dust? I don't think so. I don't see one. That was so weird. They're trying to hide the sentries. They've got him on the ground here. They wanted They have extra sentries, actually.
Yeah, I think they
Unless that was a pooled sentry that FNG is now draw. I am so confused with their.
I'm not really sure what they're doing here. I thought they were trying to hide the fact that they had sentries to maybe bait him in, but they are already showing on Lil. So, yeah, FNG just has a pooled sentry. Okay.
Will they find him this time?
Oh, on him.
I mean, he's pretty far out. He'll. Okay, as long as he's far away from telekinesis, he's fine. Man, he actually almost walked within tower vision, or tower sentry detection. That's why I was so confused by that.
Yeah. If he wasn't, he was riding that line about as close as you can get. They will put one down to block this camp here. And they'll hold on to the other sentries.
They're trying to make LANM think that they actually block this as well. Look, he puts a sentry down. Because they walked over there. They don't know that if it's there or not. But they may now put their sentry down, and therefore they guarantee the D-ward.
Oh, very smart.
But we'll see. Yeah, there it is. And now they can see it. And look, eats the tango, bam, instant. No contesting. It's just easily dead. Instead of the 4 or 5 hits it would have taken, bam, they outplay him completely. That was super sick.
That's really smart. There is still one more sentry ward here on the bounty hunter. Solana will have one more chance to try and unblock this camp.
They didn't get his observer ward either because they used both sentries. But I don't know if they saw him plan.
All right, some ward battle here in the bottom lane. FNG, he'll rotate towards the mid. Looks like they already want to pressure CTY, and he's pretty low. G's done a lot of damage to him already. This could be the first blood. There's the chilling touch.
Nice
Blink to the high ground, and G secures a victory here in the first minute of the game in the mid lane. Nice rotation.
I don't know if G or if FNG needed to be there, but what a sick rotation. And it's kind of interesting that A can be a useful gank hero, but it helps a lot to have the mobility. Like Queen of Pain being able to blink forward and guarantee those extra auto attacks. I mean, every hit is 50 magic damage. 2 hits is like plenty. That's so much more damage than you would normally get. And it's because attack speed is already pretty low in the early game, the time between attacks is large. And because of that, it doesn't become that much of a deficit.
So VP set up these lanes a little bit differently here, though, Purge. They put Illidan in the off lane alongside the Rubik, and that means DK Phobos will have the safe lane to farm on the Tide Hunter. That'll secure him at least some early experience, already level 3. And 5 last hits. This is great as long as Illidan can find some decent farm of his own. Looks like Ehome doing something similar with ROTK now in the safe lane, rotating Yang up to the off lane.
That was close. G almost died here mid.
Oh.
But he gets the sentry down, and he's able to kill the enemy sentry. He was trying to trade hits with it, but then CTY went for the face and almost stunned him, but he blink dodged it. He just always has those reads. He's like, oh, he's going to stun me, blink away. I've seen him do that so many times.
Yeah. He is a very experienced mid player after all. All right, Lanham, he gets another set of sentry wards here. Sentry battles continue.
And a lot of heroes top, actually.
Yeah.
DK Phobos going for the typical build. He likes this 2 armor, 1 anchor smash build in case he takes damage.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Even just going for that ring of protection early on makes him super, super tanky.
It's not very good versus Razor, I think, but on the same vein, Gyrocopter gets a solo against the Tusk on bottom.
Yeah, definitely good news for the Gyro. Not really too much Tusk can do. The nice thing for ROTK, though, is he will get some good experience, as Illidan can't really control the creep equilibrium that well. Although he needs to be a little bit careful here. Creep wave comes in just in the nick of time as Illidan puts out the rocket barrage.
He's on a mana now, though.
Yeah, a little close for comfort. Mid, now rotation from Lil. They go on to CTY, double damage on G. Oh, this is bad news bear for the Lina. Sidesteps the LSA again. G just clowning on CTY at this point. Now to the top lane. Yang pushed back with the chilling touch, but this mid is just going so well for VP.
He's just got his number, man. It's a lot harder to play Lina, honestly, and he has been rotated on both times in CTY's defense, so this is not a pure 1v1 by any means, but in addition to the ganks happening, G is just genuinely playing it well. He's barely dodging the stuns, he's anticipating his opponent's movements, and he got him low in the first place.
Yeah, the double damage rune definitely making things a little bit easier there. DDC now, he's going to be stationed up in the top lane. All things considered, I think this laning phase is going very well for VP. Mid lane aside, the other lane's going quite well also. Illidan topping the network or the last hit chart, and the Tide not doing too shabby, sitting at 13.
Yeah, he's right behind the Razor. I'm really surprised about that.
Seems like Ehome just can't quite set up the lanes the way they want. DDC sort of feeling obligated now to rotate mid and support CTY, but if he does that, then up top there's plenty of space for this Tide to get in there and get last hits against the Razor.
And with Ancient Apparition sitting top, I think CTY is probably still scared here. He has to continue to heal himself. Oh, Lil's got a... oh, he breaks the salve. So it's essentially like a 200 damage right click, something like that. It was mostly the way done.
Oh, Courier gets picked off by Lanham. A lot of cargo there. Bottle and boots for G. Also a TP scroll.
That's a big loss too, because his HP's low right now.
Yeah.
So really good snipe there. And usually not where they expect to see it.
Yeah, usually between the towers, but up top now, Phobos initiated on Static Link, getting a lot of damage here onto Yang. Phobos says, hell, I'm just going to TP home. No way to stop it. Smart play there.
Was that just a walking courier? Because it's like 4 minutes. I can't imagine that. It was flying.
I'm not sure. How can you tell?
It has little wing things. It looks like it's flying.
Oh, okay. I don't really recognize this courier. The amphibian kid, maybe he's just got casual wings.
It looks like it was flying.
It had to have been out 5 minutes in. I would be shocked if it wasn't upgraded.
Kill that with just Shadow Walk and Janata? Maybe it wasn't moving very fast or something?
Possibly. Maybe they'd used the speed boost already. I saw him stationed there, but I didn't see him actually kill it.
Yeah, me neither.
Not sure. I guess we'll see when it comes back up.
A little sitting on the bot lane looking to gank, but the Observer Ward's there, so ROTK will adjust to this. No boots on him.
Yep.
There's a few boots on the courier, though.
Only 3 stationed up top. Goes into the Arctic Burn, and Yang actually taking a lot of damage here, though he's stealing a lot from FNG. Phobos only level 5, does have 3 points to that Anchor Smash. Rotation now from Lil. If they can close the gap and get a telekinesis, I think they can find a kill here, but they're not going to get in close enough to do it.
That was very close. Unstable current, was that the difference? Who knows? But it was very close. Would have been 175 damage. I don't think he would have died there. He had somewhere around that, and he had armor, obviously, so yeah. Only 3, but eh.
ROTK very close to level 6, always good time for a Tusk. Picking up that regen rune. Lanham now rotating through the mid. He's been pretty quiet this game. The Courier snipe by far his biggest contribution, but still 0, 0, and 0. But continuing to move around and give his team some intel.
Just watching Lil. It's going to wait to see if they can go on that. As the wave pushes up, maybe they could shift over. It's kind of scary, though. They can't kill G, I don't think, unless they land a stun. It's the only way. And G would back up if he approaches him. I just don't see them being able to get that kill unless he lands it now. And look, every single time he reads him, as soon as he comes forward within stun range, it's obvious he's trying to catch Queen of Pain. And then he goes for the back. Yeah. He just reads him so well.
He really does. Level 7 on the Quap, feeling good. Illidan now rotating to the safe lane. He's picked up Power Treads Bassi. Aquila should be on the horizon here. They'll sack the off lane for now. Tidehunter just kind of moving through the jungle. Phobos 1 camp away from level 6. So perhaps that'll be a time when VP can start utilizing the Tidehunter's Ravage.
Ooh, Sentry Ward's going to find the ops blocking the large
game. They found Lanham. He's in trouble. They've got 1 sentry down, but they need another. They've got it. Sonic Wave as well to make sure he doesn't get out. VP
and they found another one. That was just to spot the bounty hunter. That's so unlucky for him. Like, it was really good plays from him there to put the Observer Ward down because it stops the block and it also, or it does the block and it also spots out where the junglers are going. But, man, and it ends up with him being killed. If he actually just left instead of sticking around, he would have been fine because they thought that it was a body block. They didn't think it was a ward block, which is why they put the scent down. Yeah. And then they got the kill. So, really good thought by him, but he probably should have just left.
Musical lanes all over the place, Purge. Now Yang rotating down to the safe lane. So both carries still dodging each other and turning into slightly more predictable lane setup. Who's actually winning this laning phase? No one really. It's been pretty close to a break even. 3-1, but
there are more kills on VP. And Queen of Pain's got 3-0 versus CTY's 0-2. But CTY's last hit much better than G has this game for whatever reason. I mean, I guess Lina can farm a little better in the mid lane. She has a much more spammable nuke. She can spam it from safety. And G lost his bottle at a pretty critical moment. So yeah, that was a big issue as well.
Yeah, that really hurt. His boots as well. One thing that VP is doing very well, though, is not feeding the bounty hunter. You and I have talked about this a lot. One of the best ways to deal with him is just not get hyper-aggressive. Don't give him any undue XP or gold because he'll use it to snowball. And so far, so good on that front. That snowball is not rolling.
All he did was snipe the courier and die.
Which was huge, but
he put some wards down. I mean, he's still doing fine. Honestly, that one death is completely excusable. You will die sometimes when you play bounty hunter.
Oh, yeah. And again, that's more a testament to how well VP have been positioning, not overcommitting and rotating these lanes rather than Lanham being out of position. He hasn't really had too many opportunities to find kills yet.
I like the build FNG's going. It's the max Ice Vortex build. Just accelerates your team's damage because he doesn't really have super synergy with Chilling Touch I mean, sure, you could maybe cold feet with the Rubik lift, but you already get a pretty value point out of cold feet. You do half of the damage with just 1 skill point that you could get out of 4. Obviously, the stun duration is very different and the cooldown is different, but it's a pretty okay skill just to leave at 1, and he's just happy to potentially just drop a Vortex, an Ice Blast, and do his best to stay alive.
Yeah, the Vortex scales a little better. It is somewhat mana intensive at that 4-second cooldown, but it just helps your team so much, especially with the Gyrocopter and all the magic damage he can put out.
Yep.
Very standard build from Illidan this game. Skipping the homing missile altogether. Completely different from what G did in the last game when he was solo mid, as you would expect. And it looks like Phobos will actually be the one to go for the mech. He's got Arcane Boots now, Chainmail.
Okay. I think he did this last time. I think it might have been VP that played Tide the previous time, and if it was, they went mech into Blink Dagger afterwards, I believe.
I know ROTK has played it once. Tide might have been picked up more than once this tournament, but certainly not a lot.
And really not that many rotations since the first part of the game. Everybody's just farming safely.
Well, they find a ward here. Sentry comes down from ROTK. Radiant will get a little bit of vision. Lanham still just kind of hanging out here. He's like a mobile ward for now. He's been stationed up on the high ground near the Dire Secret shop for the past minute or so.
And they do the pull connect. They will see DDC. It's almost level 6. If he can sap this experience, he'll get it. But he sees 2 heroes. They don't actually have Gush here.
Oh, are they going to go for this? Yeah, they burn the Ravage. DDC actually doesn't have Cold Embrace either. So no chance to reset against the Gyro. Not really going to help you out too much anyhow. Nice kill there for VP. It's a Ravage on cooldown, but another kill up on the scoreboard.
Yeah, they're happy to trade that. They might have been able to get the kill with just Gush, honestly. But they forced the Ravage out, and that's a fine trade for Phobos. He's just farming now anyways. It's not like he's rushing Blink Dagger. It's so early on in the game that they're not expecting Ehome to just group up and take a free tower. So just put Ravage on cooldown, get some advantage out of it, and it'll help you in the long run.
FNG now level 6. Always a big milestone for the Ancient Apparition. Getting that global presence around the map, and can look to set up kills for the Gyrocopter or maybe even the Queen of Pain if he can connect with one.
He would have gone on that if it hit.
Yep. Hasted up Lina as well, so maybe not the best opportunity to go for a kill, but doesn't really cost FNG too much. Every 40 seconds there'll be a new snowball flying across the map.
So for now he sits in the offlane, will sap experience, get last hits when he can, and he will continue fishing, and that's what they're aiming to do this game, I think.
Yep.
Stack with, oh, he did Vortex for vision on the Ancients, and then he attacked it to pull it. But it's already warded, so no stacks going on there, and he's going to realize that immediately. See if he ends up dewarding that. I assume he'll maybe double check, but...
Yeah, a smart play from Ehome to try and, or to block it out, rather. Tidehunter, one of the better off-laners at dealing with Ancient stacks once he gets at least level 5 or so. Levels up that Anchor Smash.
Lanham finds FNG.
Oh. Yep, pushes him back. Rotation here from Ehome. They will get a free tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. VP don't even bother to glyph it. They just let it fall. No defense mounted. Freebie there for the Radiant. Give them a little bump. Very quiet early game here, though. Oops, only 5 kills in 12 minutes. Both teams, as we talked about, a lot on the line here, playing very conservative and making sure they don't give the other any kind of edge.
Much more so than the previous game. Like, there was a lot of roaming going on. They're just playing completely safe here. They don't want Illidan to get behind. They've just been sitting heroes top this whole time.
They did have a little boo-boo. Oh, okay, never mind. That one's about to expire. I saw the double wards, and I was like, ooh.
That's fine. Just about 30 seconds of overlap. And the
no biggie.
Looks like they watched the replays, too. I think Ehome was the team that had the most obscure wards earlier in the day. And see the sentry to the left, in the upper left over here? It's, like, so random.
Like,
they're like, yeah, we saw you place that really good ward over here that nobody found, so we're on to you, Lanham. You have to ward a little bit.
Ice Blast will connect on Lanham. That's an easy kill for G. Dominating streak now on the Quap. Nice setup there.
Do you even get anything by killing a level 4 bounty hunter?
Well, let's see. Teamfight recap.
I feel like you should lose gold.
325 gold. Not a hell of a lot.
Maybe you should be able to track yourself, and then you gain gold from your death.
That would be cool.
It'd be really, just literally feed yourself on purpose.
Well, set up from CTY onto G. Laguna Blade to the face. A little bit of vengeance there. That's a dominating streak. Now going the way of CTY's mid play or Ehome's mid player.
623. That's a lot. The Yules is really nice. It's a really nice counter against Quap, really, because if you blink Orchid, you can just Yules either the Quap or yourself to remove it. So it's a much cheaper item. The very common Lina early build, so no surprise there. DDC is going to get caught by Lil here. Uses Arctic Burn. That's a slow DDC.
And still no points in the Cold Embrace. I guess just the gyrocopter here is going to be enough to deter him. Ice Blast coming in as well. Illidan now on the run. He's losing a lot of damage from Yang. He just wants to live here.
Great Vortex.
He will.
Oh, VP.
Oh, here
there's
comes
the Ravage.
Ravage on 2. Yang and ROTK in some trouble. That's another static link. ROTK will fall. Yang stealing some damage. We'll be able to finish off the Rubik, but now he's all isolated. It's a 4-on-1. They'll hit him with the dagger, and he will just run. Actually, G,
there's no Vortex. Oh, now he's got it. There's the Vortex, slowing him down.
Daggered as well. Fast. Even a homing missile. They still can't kill him. All right, Yang will live. So not.
Ooh, the ale. He's going to see that. Oh, that's it.
Oh my gosh.
He wasn't watching his map. You can see the first one fly past detection. If you have a sentry, you can see it on the mini-map.
Yeah.
And he wasn't paying attention. You could tell that was a panic move. His team was probably like, move, move, move. And he gave that little panic.
I don't think it would have been enough for him to shatter, though. He had a fair bit of HP. It would have been close. But he's
250 plus 12 times 8. So it's around a 300 damage nuke.
It would have been really close.
It would have been close.
Yeah. So either way, he lives. Well played, Yang. Lanham, 16 minutes in, nearly still not level 6. He is getting close, but definitely not getting that snowball going on this bounty hunter. 0, 2, and 0. Just leeching XP wherever he can.
And the bounty is just seeming so bad sometimes. Like, it seems so good some games, but other times so bad. AI Splash coming top. It's going to hit CTY. No big deal. Just zone in.
Just clips him.
It's actually pretty good there. He doesn't have any bottle charges, so he can't really stay around anymore.
Looks like VP may want to pressure this bottom tier 1 tower. Lanham's nearby, just kind of lingering. And nope, they won't commit for it. Both teams still continuing to play so cautiously here.
Yeah, they're just letting their towers go down. That's the third one now that VP has let fall, but they didn't have Ravage, so they can't really fight, honestly.
Yeah.
They have to have Ravage for Tide Hunter to be valid. He doesn't even have Gush. I think that's a mistake, personally. The 4th level of Kraken Shell is not worth foregoing Gush. Gush is one of the best value points that you can get. They're going to find CTY's invis. Do they have a Dust?
Yeah,
there's a Dust. They get him. No Ravage, no Chase. AI Splash comes through and he dies anyways.
Whoa. He died strikingly quick there. Now Gush gets leveled up. Yang and returns with the unstable current, but now the follow-up is here. They hit him with the dagger, and now they follow up. Tusk with Ice Shards and blocks them all out. VP have no way to retreat. The ultimate from Winter Wyverns finishes off the Ancient Apparition. Now Phobos in some trouble. He just barely lives. Tusk as well as Razor getting melted to the wrath of the gyrocopter. Lina even buys back for this fight, but now VP just disengage, and it's a wasted buyback from CTY.
It's not the worst buyback, about 600 gold, but yeah, he doesn't get anything out of it. By the time he gets back to the wave, he will have increased his farming slowly, but he's going to die another time this game, so that's going to come back to bite him even later. So not worth it there. I just feel like VP, they really need a blink on Tide because they just can't catch anybody. They keep finding heroes out of position half the time. They just can't get the kill. Like they had to catch that Lina by using an ice vortex. Like that is pathetic. You got to go for this like AoE 30% slow aura to grab somebody. That's so chancy. AI Splash coming.
Almost connects on Lana, but he'll sidestep it there.
Did he see him? I'm confused. Maybe he probably saw him.
Yeah, this guy right
go
here.
and viz from the ward, and approach that way.
Yep. So Ravage is off cooldown now. Phobos is very close to level 11. A little bit of extra stun duration.
Time to party.
Smoke from VP, yeah. There we go.
Good wards from Ehome. Pretty standard wards, but giving good vision. They don't see them now, though. FNG could Chilling Touch here, but you never know if they'll find something. And it looks like Ehome is afraid. They're doing the group counter smoke or the group hide together strategy.
Either way, they seem suspicious with all 5 of VP missing off the map. We see some lines drawn on the minimap here. Looks like they will just rotate through the Ancients. They ward up as they go. This smoke expiring pretty soon here. Looks like they'll just be on a warding expedition unless Ehome walk right into them.
I think the sentry might be for if Bounty Hunter comes that way.
Yeah.
Is the goal. A couple of pings from Razor. I think they're saying go push over here maybe. They're checking Roche not in there. Good. That was a good guess, I think. And the TP now from Quap going bot, so I think everybody's going to go back to playing standard here.
Yep.
Again, super important game.
Everyone on edge here. It's definitely understandable. There's always a difference in playstyle when there's a lot on the line.
Oh, he uses the range creep.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
If they had a blink on Tide, this would be the easiest fight ever. Splash comes in, lands on CTY, the Ravage. It's going to get him barely. He's going to go down. Oh, great Winter's a curse. That's going to keep him stunned. Mech gets popped, and now he's running for his life. CTY still alive.
And on the other side, G, he unloads the ultimate, but it only connects onto Yang. They mech through it. G blinks aggressively. That could prove to be a mistake. He's trying to get back to his team. A lot of damage coming his way. The Shuriken bouncing around. It'll finish off Rubik as well as the Queen of Pain. Now VP on the back foot. They're trying to hightail it out of here and cut their losses. Illidan will be able to fly to safety, but a 1 for 3. Oh, this poor Tidehunter. You saw that opportunity. There could have been a 4-kill Ravage if he had any way to get up there. A blink, a 4-staff, anything. It was almost a completely whiffed Ravage.
The mech is really needed in most cases, but this game, they just don't have any other initiation. Until they get a blink on Rubik, they've got nothing. They have no way to initiate.
Yeah.
If you just blink Ravages there, they easily win the fight. Because he would have called down, they would have done like an Ice Blast on 2 or on 3. The Ice Vortex would have been very accurate because the heroes wouldn't have been moving. Like, I actually think that this is a game where the mech rush on Tide was a complete mistake because it's really hurting them in these team fights there. That should have been a team fight win for VP, and instead it looked kind of even. Well,
it's as if he picked up the mech thinking that Ehome would bring the fight to them, but Ehome has just played so defensively that...
That's very true, actually.
The mech is just... It would have been great if Ehome played as aggressive if they played as aggressive as they did in the last game, but here they just simply aren't. And it's unfortunate for Phobos. He's only at 900 gold, still pretty far away from the Blink Dagger. He'll be able to get it at some point, but still has a good bit of farming to do.
All right, let's see where Ehome can get some ground in the meantime. Back to farming, I guess.
Is Lena looking at... She has an Ogre Club here. I would have thought she'd just go right into Ags, which she still could be, but perhaps a sign that she wants a BKB instead just to deal with the Tidehunter as well as the call downs.
I think it's a pretty good idea. I really don't see her dying if she gets a BKB. Like, it's basically Quap ult and Gyro's right click directly on her or flat cannon.
Yeah.
And that's pretty limited, but if she does go for a BKB, it's going to limit her farming potential, but winning team fights, which is something they definitely can do, is looking good for them if he does get a BKB.
I mean, it's looking like BKB could come out around the same time on Lena and Razor, and that could be a great opportunity for Ehome to try and take some fights. CTY, can he make it out here? Orchid from G.
No
he's just going to try to TP home. I think he's pretty much dead there no matter what he does, even with the self-Yules. Just sets up for a call down.
There's no Ags on Quap there, so Ags is now, or her ult is now on cooldown. So they can maybe profit from that, but easy trade there. Kill the enemy mid. He is going BKB, picks up a Mithril Hammer.
Okay.
There wasn't really a solution for him to live there, honestly. Maybe Yules, probably should have Yules somebody first before he tried to TP. Yules instantly, then TP'd. Might have lived. But.
Yeah, hard pressed to say it would have made a huge difference here. Yang and DDC farming very aggressively. VP walk right into it. Ravage on 2. DDC will get brought down. Maybe they can find Yang as well, but he's pretty darn speedy. And per usual, no way to close the gap. And a beautiful Ice Shard to block out the team. Homing Missile will start to track him down, but they're not going to be able to go for it.
Use Ice Vortex. It did nothing. No surprise.
Oh, boy. Well, they end up getting 2 kills out of it. Oh, well, they get the Winter Wyvern. I guess really 1 kill out of it. Lena was dead from the fight before.
And it's good they're doing that, because that's the fastest way for Tide to get items, is to be in the area for experience gold. And if he can Ravage 2 heroes, that's great without a Blink Dagger.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's already holding a Blink Dagger, but I don't know why he doesn't use it.
Now he's got 500. Yeah. 500 gold off until the next Blink. Does he have the Blink Dagger here?
Look at it. It's a little cosmetic, dude. It's right there.
Is it on his belt? Oh, yeah.
It's in his left hand, dude. He's ready.
Oh, he's got the... Oh, it's the same hand that the fish is in. I see. Yeah.
Hey, dude, just use it. What's the big deal? It doesn't even cost mana anymore. You can afford it.
It is funny when you see those kind of cosmetics. Like the Kunkka with the Shadow Blade. It's like, wow, he's got a Lothar's already? Oh, wait, no. It's just a purple sword.
Bounty Hunter finding the enemy team to the Gem, man.
He is in the danger zone. They don't have any detection. I don't even see dust.
He's got a lot of
he's got 1 dust. Okay.
Really? Who does?
But,
Rubik. The Rubik, okay.
And now they get some sentries delivered, but...
Spots their heroes, Lanham goes invis, and they continue to 5-man. And this is the time to 5-man, really. The enemy team will pressure them when Ravage is down.
Yeah. And Ravage will be up, and still a minute until that baby comes up. When do VP buy a gem? I feel like they could have bought one even already to deal with Lanham.
I think they could. I mean, I don't think...
take vision control.
I don't think FNG needs an Axe to be really useful this game. I think he's fine just with his items. As long as he's participating in kills. And it's a different way to play Ancient Apparition, but I think it's an okay way to play him. You just go with your team, you use Ice Vortex, and you really amplify your team's damage. And if your position is good enough, you won't get caught. And there's the BKBs picked up. Lena as well as Razor. Ravage now becomes very hard, and at the same time, Blink is picked up.
Yeah, usually Tide hopes to hit that window a little earlier so we can abuse the Blink Dagger before there's magic immunity.
And he's doing well, honestly. Like 24 minutes, 2-1 and 4. His Blink Dagger is not delayed, but because he got it after the mech, the other heroes that can farm faster than him grab their BKBs. Yeah. So if they pop BKB and he's only able to ravage maybe 1 or 2 supports, it's going to really change how the team fight goes. Because Tide is pretty bad after Ravage. He doesn't do that much. And against Razor, Razor's still pretty good for damage output. Doesn't have to worry about getting his damage reduced.
Yeah. Best you can hope for is Anchor Smash, but... All right. Lana, what's he working on here? I guess he's going to go Pipe. He's got a Ring of Regen as well as a Cloak. I suppose it could be a 4th Staff. Nope, there's the second ring. So looks like they will take heed to what you were mentioning where they split the mech Pipe.
Pipe and BKBs, and then they don't die.
I like the way Ehome are itemizing here, man. I think it's the right idea.
And even G's very possibly going to just go BKB. Like, they're playing the full Chinese playstyle right now, which is 5-man and BKBs. They're going to blink forward. They're going to Orchid on top of ROTK. Doesn't get his blink off, and that looks like a dead hero.
Not much the Tusk could do there. In the wrong place at the wrong time. A little bit of space creation, though, for Lina to pressure the tier 2 in the bottom. They will force out a Glyph. And it looks like VP won't really mount much of a defense here, except for the Ice Blast. CTY will get nailed by it. But
he's got to be a little scared about that.
Does he get this tower? Yeah, he's got a lot of reinforcements nearby.
They know where he is. They're thinking about blinking forward.
VP coming in. Looks like they will choose to defend now.
Will they check him on the right? We'll see.
CTY hiding in the tree. I'm taking a look at Dire Vision.
They keep pinging there. They know he's over there.
Yeah.
If they blink on top of him and he just dies.
Ice Shard scouted out. Oh, they're still pinging like crazy.
I don't think
that was his team. They're saying, get out of there. Run.
Yeah.
Run.
They do deward the ward. Do they have a gem now? They do. It's a gem on FNG. Great purchase here.
Okay.
He's gone for some stat levels as well. 2 currently, just to increase his HP without needing money to be able to do that. And instead, translate the money into the gem.
Value points in Cold Feet and Chilling Touch. Max out the Ice Vortex, then just go all stats after that.
Exactly.
So very, very good build for this stage of the game.
I kind of like the Arcane Boots. Normally, I'm a big critic of Ancient Apparition Arcanes because he doesn't need it to get a big mana pool. But in this case, he's really there to spam the hell out of Ice Vortexes. The slow's big. It's 30%. These things last for 16 seconds, and they're on a 4-second cooldown. You can get up to 4 down in a battlefield, and if the fight is fairly static, that's a huge deterrence to your opponents moving and chasing after you. It's kind of like a counter to track, really, if you think about it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Ehome grouped up is 4 in the mid lane here. They don't have their Lina with him, but they see Illidan. He is tracked. Ice Shards fall a little bit short.
No blink in sight for Rubik.
No.
So his positioning is a little tough still.
Yeah, he's pretty broke. Both the supports on the Dire side having trouble farming here.
It's because they're 5-manning.
Yep.
There's only so much you can do in these positions. But a smoke from Ehome.
And a BKB picked up by the Gyrocopter.
So I think VP's okay with this fight then. It all comes down to who initiates first. If it's a Blink Ravage, their team's a little spread. There's the initiation. Will Blink Ravage it? He does. He catches 3, but not the best Ravage.
Yeah, all the BKBs are on here. Illidan now, he's the victim of the winner's curse. Snowball across onto Lil. ROTK still alive, but maybe not for long. Sonic Wave from Quapper on the backside will finish off the Bounty Hunter. Ice Blast comes in to connect on a few. ROTK will get shattered by G. His BKB still on, though about to expire.
Oh, he's in trouble now.
Yules to set up. CTY connects with the LSA. The damage is there. It's a 2 for 2. Ehome getting some cleanup as now Illidan going in. Uh-oh. The Plasma Field doing some damage, but a buyback from the Queen of Pain.
I like this a lot. He can clean up big time. Going after Razor. There's the Anchor Smash first. Gush in 3 seconds. I think there's no way that Razor escapes this here.
LSA, though. Phobos needs to be careful. Now in comes G. Looks like the Winter Wyvern was able to TP home. Nothing G could do about it, but will jump onto Yang. Finds the cleanup kill there. So a long extended fight, but it looks like Ehome get the big net worth advantage because of that buyback on the Quap.
Now he only gets 40% of the gold that he would normally get there. All gold earnings reduced by 60%. So despite it saying 600, he only got a little of that back, but it does still give them some space on the map. I thought he might be able to get more than just 1 kill there, but it seemed like he went south when he bought back.
He did. He went for the Winter Wyvern. I didn't follow my camera on that side, but he was following Winter Wyvern who TP'd out. So
yeah, so that's a pretty big mistake there. I'm guessing that he used Glimmer Cape or something like that, but he wasn't able to get the kill on that, and because of that, he lost the other 2.
Okay. So things resetting a little bit here. 9 to 17 as VP gets some more kills up on the board, but Only about a 1,500 net worth lead and experience. Oh, that's for Ehome, pardon me. And a small experience lead for VP. Still a very even game, all things considered. Only Tier 1 towers have been destroyed, and only on the side of VP, actually all towers still standing for Ehome.
Yeah, I think that fight was just a little sloppy for VP. I think DK Phobos reacted to it correctly. Someone's initiated on your team, you immediately need to blink where you think the rest of their team is, and you need to Ravage. And he did do that, but the problem was his team wasn't quite close enough to follow up on it. So from a reactionary standpoint, where they initiated on you, I think that was pretty good for VP. That didn't go bad. They I think they won that fight, despite the buyback, and they just need to initiate.
What is Phobos buying here? He's got a point booster. Is that an Octarine to lower the cooldown?
You know, I think that's pretty cool. I've never seen somebody do that before on Tidehunter.
Nor I. I mean, it's definitely not an Ags. I think definitely not a Bloodstone, so it must be the Octarine.
It must be the Octarine.
Certainly not a Scotty.
It's a lot of HP as well, which is kind of cool because he's got 4 levels in Kraken Shell, obviously. So every 450 HP, you remove a debuff. So it's a very low chance of him getting stunned. He's got a bigger mana pool. He could get Refresher afterwards. I still think the Refresher build is probably better, but you can't really afford Refresher and Mech. And he's looking to initiate bot. They've got the vision.
Yep.
He spots DDC though. There's the Orchid blinking forward. Ravage catches 4. Huge Ravage. Quad Bolt as well. Ice Blast comes through.
But the Snowball resets things. They're all still alive. Yang with the BKB on will try to press forward here. Now they all come out somehow, some way. Ehome, everybody's still up. They're going to go back in onto Phobos. Yang in the front lines. Very tanky still. They bring down the Tidehunter first. CTY maybe in just a little bit too deep, taking a lot of damage, but will BKB. Now G with his BKB on, focuses on the Yang. The Snowball helps reset again, locks it in place. There's the Walrus Punch. It's Virtus.Pro on the back foot. Somehow, Purge, how have Ehome done this? They're going to chase down Lil. They'll get yet another track kill. It's a 4-0. No one dying on the side of Ehome. No buybacks deployed yet. G, the lone survivor for Virtus.Pro.
I can't believe that happened.
It was all the Snowball to reset.
Yeah, it actually debuffed the AI Splash. It might hit a couple. Doesn't get the Razor.
I think it also stopped the Quad Bolt from doing a lot of damage. They got hit by the Ravage, but the Snowball came right as the Sonic Wave flew through, and I'm pretty sure it was completely nullified on everyone in the Snowball.
Those 2 heroes should have 100% died. That Ravage was perfect. The team follow-up was immediately afterwards, but the Snowball just bought them time, and that was such sick play from ROTK. He read that fight. He pulled them together. They were the focus, and they completely wiped VP. And maybe the rest of VP didn't quite go as crazy as aggressive enough as they needed to, because after the Ravage, the fight just looked over, and it seemed like once it wasn't over, the rest of the team was sitting back a little bit. So I feel like maybe VP didn't commit hard enough to trying to secure those kills. Maybe they read that, oh, the fight's over, they snowballed, but that went completely opposite to how I thought it was going to.
There was also that chaos factor of, since they jumped in the Snowball, it looked like they all died at first because they just disappeared off the screen. It took me a moment, and as soon as I saw the Snowball, we realized that now set up onto Phobos, but it's CTY on the back foot. He'll scoot away, Lanham nearby, and they will be able to live. No problemo. But yeah, it's just those weird little visual things when you just go, wait, what happened? And if that happened to us, surely it happened to the players on VP as well. Tusk barely blinking back as he gets hit by the Ice Blast. We'll try to TP home, and yeah, G's got no way to interrupt it. Okay.
If he didn't get that blink off, if that A ult would have hit a second earlier, he would have had that kill.
Yeah, definitely.
I think so. With Orchid and a couple nukes, no ult obviously, but would help a lot. He's about half the way towards his Axe. Actually only needs about 1,200. Once he grabs that, he's going to be using his ultimate a lot less conservatively.
Yeah, so Bounty Hunter, he does have a Hood of Defiance. I think, didn't he already pick up 2 rings of regen? Where the hell did they go?
He did. All right, Ravage is up though, so it looks like VP's going to fight here. They need to do Call Down after Ravage. That's going to help a lot.
Okay.
Quap's showing right now. They'll see if they reach forward on it.
So this is dire vision right now. They've only got 1 ward around the Roche pit. They ping out the Tusk. That's the only one they see. The rest of Ehome hiding in the tree line here. They will break the smoke. Yang in the front line. Oh, he's got the BKB on. Winner's Curse onto Illidan. It goes right through the BKB. This Gyrocopter's in a lot of trouble. Rubik dives off to the backside to CTY. Now Illidan down for the count. He has a buyback. Ravage comes out from DK Phobos. It'll get the Tusk, but there's just no follow-up. It was too defensive. They can't interrupt him on the TP out. He'll live, but G caught by the LSA as he tries to blink. A track kill. Can they get another one? Nope, he will just barely live unless they can chase him down.
Yeah, he's going to be fine.
Okay.
All right, welcome mainstream. This is a seriously important game if you guys haven't been paying attention. Both of these teams are fighting for their top 4 spot in Group B. And it's a close one.
Ehome looked very strong in game number 1. And here in game 2, VP fighting for the top 4. this is what it all comes down to, Purge. It's been a very close game so far. Ehome just recently pulling far ahead. Ice Blast will connect on the Roche pit, but VP just can't contest this. Ravage is down. Sonic Wave is down. This will be a Roche going the way of Ehome. So yeah, very even mid-game. Pretty quiet farming until the recent bout of team fighting. Pipe on the way. I'll take a look at the items here just so y'all can get acquainted with the current state of this match.
You know, if you missed the last fight, what basically happened was CTY came from far behind in the team fight, and VP was looking for the other main group. If they would have been able to spot CTY first, they could have just completely blown him up to start things off. Bobo's getting spotted in the jungle, actually. This is pretty dangerous because the rest of the heroes are semi in the area. He's just gonna keep home.
Can't get there in time.
It's such short range now. Yep. It's very difficult to get in range.
CTY fishing as well in the mid lane. He's the one carrying the Aegis now, so not afraid to be a little bit aggressive if an opportunity arises.
He's got so much farm. 4K gold plus his Aghanims. Wow. So he just solo killed the Rubik very, very easily earlier. But the problem is that both teams have been playing super safe 5-man the whole game because neither of them wants to lose this one. And because of that, Lil has much less items than he normally does.
Yeah, look at this Rubik. He's got Urn, Arcane Boots, and still no progression towards that Blink Dagger. Very unfortunate for him. The Ancient Apparition in a similar state right now. They're at the bottom of the pack for net worth by a pretty big margin. They've been holding steady, whereas for Ehome, both of their supports have been on the up and up. A lot of that coming from the track gold. Yeah,
I'm sure that makes a big difference there. VP going to try to take at least tier 1 tower here before they back off and go for the Rax defend. They don't have Ravage yet. 16 seconds cooldown on that one, and Ehome's happy to go high ground.
All right, there is no glyph either on cooldown for another 20 seconds.
Gonna get solo
in big trouble. Can they finish him off? They can. He does have a buyback here.
It's Solo Laguna though.
950
magic damage. That's going to be a huge thing to have in the next team fight, but
they may realize it was stolen as well. We'll see if they adjust their playstyle here. They'll mech up. They go right back onto the tower. Glyph up in about 5 seconds. Illidan may need to burn the buyback here. Ravage is also cooled down. Refresher picked up by Lina.
Great pickup.
Oh boy, this is scary. She doesn't have the mana pool to use it quite yet now. Oh, it's okay. It's way back at the base. Never mind. They won't need it for this siege. Tower's gone down. They've got the glyph now. VP can still make a hold here, but do they sack the barracks and not use the buyback? Ravage completely went from Phobos. Oh no! It's a disaster from Virtus.Pro. Now comes the BKB for Yang. Sonic Wave from Quap.
Oh man, they just shredded.
This is scary. CTY goes down, but comes right back to life. This should be at least a lane of barracks for Ehome. That was not the time to whiff the Ravage. Oh
he pressed it before he blinked. I looked down and I don't think there was a damage source that hit him or anything.
No,
because it was Bounty Hunter kind of close to him, but he has no way to do damage from that far away.
We saw it from Ohio earlier, just not shift queuing properly on his Earthshaker. It's very similar style. It just happens occasionally. But
it's such a small thing because if he hesitates a little bit after he blinks, then they have a much better chance of getting their BKBs off. They did still kill the Aegis on Lina, but you just can't make that mistake. It's such a big mistake when you're defending.
Okay. So anything else here progression-wise? Phobos, I guess worth mentioning here to all the new viewers joining us that he has a soul booster probably working towards the Octarine core. Not a build that Purge or myself have seen on Tidehunter, but a very interesting idea to lower all these cooldowns.
And he was doing much better before, which was part of the reason that it seems like such a terrible item now. You're like, why would you build that? It costs like 6,000 gold on a Tidehunter. You could have just gotten Refresher. Well, I mean, you can disassemble the Arcane Boots. That part's pretty cool, but you don't really have the mana to do Mechanism and Refresh, because Mech is a huge percentage of your mana pool. So he was doing very well before. VP was winning their team fights, but just a couple clutch snowballs coming from ROTK, and Ehome's in a big advantage now.
Yeah, they were trying to set something up in the bottom lane here with G hiding in the tree line, but the Ice Blast will fall a little bit short. Also, another big item pickup for Ehome here. Lanham picks the Pipe of Insight. Finally gets it completed, so now more magic resistance, and they have something to deal with the Ice Blast from this Ancient Apparition, who's still no progression towards an Aghanims. Hanging on to the gem for now, but that damage is really not scaling so well here, Purge.
I don't even know if that's that big of a deal though, because they all have BKBs at this point. Their cores do at least.
True.
Lina and Razor, like the Pipe was something we theory crafted at the start. Like, wow, Pipe is really needed this game. But as it's going now, their disables are weak. They're basically reliant on a Ravage on 5 heroes to really guarantee the kill. And you can BKB that most of the time. These top tier players are going to see the blink coming. He'll blink in, they're going to pop their BKBs, and at most you'll stun 3 heroes. But you need to get all of them and get the follow-up damage for them to have a fighting chance in this game if they don't have the chain stuns. And they don't. They don't even have a blink on Rubik. He's just got a cloak.
Yeah, they've also got a Shiva's now on Yang's Razor, so more item progression on that front. 1,500 gold on the Tidehunter. Still a little ways off that Octarine core. Looking for other items here, and not much has progressed except now a Blink Dagger on Lina. Can't forget about that refresher that she's picked up. I'm not even sure if it's been shown to VP yet. Well, now it has. Yeah, it wasn't.
I think she'd been farming a creep wave a couple times.
No, but we'll have to deal with double Laguna.
I like this build a lot, actually. It's very common on Quap as well. You go Ags Refresher to get the double ult. Maybe a bit too mana expensive on Queen of Pain, but on Lina, especially if you have an Ags, man, that's double pure damage. You can do almost 2,000 pure damage to any hero. Yeah. Any hero that he gets within range on, he can just be like, pew pew, and then they die.
Yeah, definitely. Ehome, they're poking here. They want to take a fight, but they just can't find the right angle to make it happen, and they're still scared to charge up the high ground. Lina just used her refresher.
What?
Oh, my.
He swapped his treads positioning, and he was trying to tread switch.
Oh, my.
That's a mistake.
Well, at least VP didn't see it. I guess that's the one silver lining there, but...
That's like he has 5,000 less net worth just now. Yeah. That is such an incredible mistake. Now he can only pew once.
Yep. Well, he's going to be in the side lane here. Initiation comes out onto ROTK. He'll BKB straight away.
I like that. That's good.
Phobos in the front lines. Both teams slow rolling this. Snowball in. Really just poking here. Both sides afraid to commit.
That was really well done by VP there. They got to get the mind games and then make them doubt popping their BKB, because now RTK wasted his. He's going to get hit by the Ravage next one unless he snowballs it or Blink dodges it.
Well, it's already happened in one fight with a super sick snowball to dodge the Sonic Wave after a nice Ravage. Maybe he can do it again here, Purge.
With that said as well, also mech being used on VP, so less heal coming for them if the team fight happens. But I think they're just going to delay this. I don't think Ehome's entirely upset because he did refresh accidentally. Yeah. I like how CTY is killing these trees, though. That's very smart. That's an approach path for VP if they smoke out of their base. So cut those trees down, give them the vision needed when the smoke breaks.
Yeah. Good point there. I think Ehome also trying just to feign the pressure for now, so it's not obvious that this refresher is not available. They're going to keep positioning to keep VP locked in their base and try not to take a fight unless someone really oversteps. Walden kind of poking his head out here. Ooh. Oh, there's Laguna.
One.
Okay. Takes him down to half, and it seems like they're just trying to keep VP locked in their base and just keep chipping away at this mid tower.
VP might go for this now, honestly. Like, it's a pretty low cooldown, 50 seconds, but if the refresher's up, which they assume it is, at most that's one Laguna Blade. Yeah.
ROTK is nowhere to be found either. He's pretty far off, does not have BOTs, so can't get back to the fight quickly if VP does opt to jump. If you take a look at the vision here, Virtus.Pro are completely locked in their base. They've got one ward down that they were able to put out on the low ground here, but they just have absolutely no idea what Ehome are doing. They don't know if there's all five ready to jump into the base, if they're about to smoke into this top lane. They do have a sentry ward down to try and stay safe from that kind of a play, but
DDC even snipes the ward to the side, and it's so easy for him because his range goes up to so much with Arctic Burn. So, oh, they blink more Ravage on two big ones.
Right onto CTY as well as Lana. So yeah, that's going to be two down, but Yang is still here. BKB's popped to plenty. ROTK still nowhere to be found. Winter's Curse will buy them a little bit of time to try and retreat, but a fast 2-0. Ehome staying too spread out here. It will come back to bite them in the rear end. Can they actually finish off Yang, though? He's so fast. They will chase him down. Ice shards. Well, helping to buy some time, and it will keep him alive. Now ROTK, he goes charging in. Walrus punch onto FNG, but he's all by his lonesome. He'll use his BKB. It's ROTK versus the world. TP out on the Ancient Apparition. He'll live. There was a buyback from the Lina to try and find some counter kills here. Phobos left behind.
They just don't have the damage.
They may just cut their losses.
I mean, Lina might. All right, they're going to get him with that Ice Shards. DK Phobos will fall, but he used Ravage. He's got buyback. That's not that big of a loss for him. Oh, Quap almost getting caught. That was so dangerous.
He does have an Aghanims now, so not a huge ROTK, he is going in deep. Maybe too deep, dare I say.
He actually dies there, but Quap might be in trouble. No BKB for 2 seconds. Oh, the counter snowball saves him. G's going to be able to BKB and turn this fight. CTY refreshes, but the BKB from G, and he's turning. He's going to get the Rubik, but not at all a good trade. What sick plays from Lil. Stealing the ability and using it to absolute full potential and saving G. That was so sick.
So many sloppy plays from Ehome, though. That's a dieback now on the Lina, and ROTK just going in way too deep ahead of his team. They were all here near the ward when he was in the base. No way for them to keep up with how far he went in. Roshan coming up in just a couple of seconds here, but it looks like VP will just go mid and take out some of these tier 1 towers.
Man, this game is just such a treat. It's so back and forth. Both teams getting advantages at varied times, but VP holding that out, the double ravage on the two important heroes, the bounty hunter as well as the Lina. Like, that's what they got to go for.
Look
and they
at these
got
items coming out here, though. Gyrocopter, he gets himself the MKB. Octarine Core out on G, and Phobos, he's not that far away from the Octarine Core himself. 1,700 gold.
He did buy back for this, by the way. So they could go do the pushing, but that's not a big deal. Like, you don't really need that many more items on Tide. Obviously, Octarine Refresher would be god tier on Tide Hunter.
They're going to get roached too.
But, oh man,
I mean, this Lina's still in the grave for another 50 seconds. They can easily do it. This is only roach number 2, though. No cheese yet.
Only hero moving is ROTK, and he's moving towards us. He's got a blink. He's the kind that likes to steal Aegis if he can.
Will he make it? I'm not even sure he'll make it in time.
It's going to be really close. I think he can get there in time.
He could.
But only if he goes straight for it.
ROTK, does he go for it? I know he's manly, but how manly? Ice Shards come in.
He stole it! Oh my god, he sniped Roshan. That bastard. Oh my god, that was sick.
This snaky devil right here. I can't believe that actually worked. That's incredible.
280 shard damage, and Roshan has like 80% spell resistance. It's actually so unlikely that he would be able to do that. He just guaranteed his team. That is a 2,000 gold swing that he just prevented.
Just look at this gold graph. It was a 20k gold lead for Ehome, back down to 10, and it'll bump up a little bit more once it updates for the Roche, but just speaking to how back and forth this game has been.
I can't believe he did that. I don't even want to go on with this game, dude. That was so much gold. That's 1,000 gold spread across VP. That now goes to Ehome. That's a 2k gold swing. That's equivalent to like 4 kills.
That's
like
absolutely
2 or 3 kills.
Incredible. He made it look so easy, too, as if he knew the exact timing, just strolled in, casual Ice Shards. Yeah, no problem. Easy 1,000 gold, boys. What's up? What a player. Now, smoke from Ehome in the mid lane. They may bump into VP here. Phobos on the high ground. Does have a Ravage ready and waiting.
They don't have the Aegis, though. And they're doing the same thing. DK Phobos in the front, looking to break the smoke. But they're wrapping around the side. Little's actually not going to spot this, but he also has a Blink Dagger. They're putting their mobile heroes on the outside. Observer, they smoked themselves.
All right, they're both smoked up here. Neither have been revealed yet.
And Ehome saw that. They put the Observer down the smoke cap, and now they're coming from the back. This is really bad for VP, especially if AA dies first. They need to get the Ice Blast off if possible.
But the Radiant Smoke is about to expire, and it has. The creeps mid will expose this, and it looks like both sides.
And now VP gets a turnaround. I mean, VP's still happy to go for this.
We'll see if they actually do, though. They're
baiting the Razor.
A little bit cautious here. Here we go. Ravage just started off, connects on 2. Follow-up Sonic Wave.
Snowball again.
Call down. Yang goes down first. ROTK with the BKB on. Could be in some trouble next. CTY on the back foot. Stolen Laguna comes out to take him down low. G wants to pursue, but can't get the kill. It's just a 1-0 to get things started.
The missile's still following him, but he's got a Yule Scepter, so he should be fine. We even have DDC running over the cliff. He's got a Blink Dagger. Not bad. The snowball almost saved, man. It just gave me flashbacks to that one fight where the snowball absolutely saved the core hero. He used BKB, 5 seconds on Razor, and he's not that tanky. He needs more raw HP. He's got all this armor. He's got a BKB, but he's just dying to burst damage.
Now all of a sudden it's the other way. The Octarine Core comes out for the Tide Hunter. There are no buybacks available for Ehome. They need to be so cautious here. They'll have to fight without their Razor for the next 30 seconds. They do have a glyph to try and reset and hold the barracks here. Laguna comes out. They chunk the Gyrocopter. Well played by CTY, and that'll be enough to repel Virtus.Pro, at least for now. ROTK doing ROTK things. He wants to go in. He doesn't blink. He just snowballs forward to try and buy some time. His team desperately trying to catch up.
Little's in trouble. He's got a blink in 1. Blink. He gets hit. He's dead now.
LSA will connect. Walrus punch as well. Down he goes. FNG in a little far forward here. Sonic Wave from G connects on 2. FNG low, but the mech buys him some time. Snowball to reset once more. All across right into Phobos. That'll finish off Lina as well as the Winter Wyvern. Now, ROTK left behind. There's a gem on the ground, but he's in a lot of trouble. This Radiant team crumbling before our eyes here.
They see Lanam now because they got the gem, and he's going to die as well.
Buybacks aplenty coming from both sides. 2 from VP as well as 2 from Ehome. They want to push the advantage here.
They can't outplay them here. It's just a Razor. AI Splash comes through. It's going to miss the mark, but they're still chasing. Gem on the ground. There's the Gush on top of Razor. I don't think they're going to get this kill. They actually go for it. There's the call down. Flat Cannon. Creeps are dead. Rocket Barrage now. He's at half HP. Pops the BKB. G goes in. He's got his ultimate. He can also lifesteal from the Octarine Core if he does want to plop his ult down.
Now the barracks, there is a glyph here. Ehome will hold it for now. Lina will be in the grave for 50 seconds. No buyback available, coming off cooldown right around the time she'll respawn. Now the glyph gets used. G trying to zone them out while his teammate goes to work on the barracks. creeps pushing into the base on the dire side. Oh my gosh, they've lost all their tier 4 towers, Purge. Their throne's exposed, and it's been taking damage.
We're top tier observers, guys. Oh man, Illidan in trouble. Taking him to damage here, getting damage tactical. AI Splat's gonna possibly turn things though. It hits on the Razor, might drop an ultimate. No, 5-second cooldown. There's the Ravage actually catching two. He's getting low. Razor at 700. Here comes the Quap. She's gonna ult this. Pops BKB just in time. Will it be a dead Razor? He does end up going down. Great initiation from DK Phobos.
And G, he'll stay alive for now. Now a buyback from the Razor. G needs to be careful here. He definitely does not want to die. They will get the kill on the Tusk, and now they retreat. VP secure the barracks. They head for the hills. They'll get back to their base, find their throne at about 60% HP or so. Now BOT is starting to come out. Buybacks, a lot were used there, Purge, but there are still a few available, both on the side of Virtus.Pro. My gosh, what a game we've got on our hands here.
Quap is doing so much damage in these teamfights, and it's really because Ehome's lacking damage. They only have, like, Lina, really, that's a major threat. The Razor is an issue, but it takes him a lot of time to ramp up, and most of the time the Quap can just run. And on the other side, you've got a mostly utility Tusk, you've got a Bounty Hunter that's entirely utility, and Winter Wyvern can't really do that much damage by himself, so Quap is just life-stealing constantly. Every time he throws out a Shadow Dagger, he's getting 25% of that back, and that's a 3-second cooldown, and he's getting right-clicks, and he's Scream of Painting for lifesteal. He's actually just a tanky, magic nuking monster right now. And he's going for Hex next, and once he grabs that, another low cooldown, high utility item.
That's the power of the Octarine core at this stage of the game. Lots of gold indeed. Roche still a while before that 8-minute timer comes up, and we see see who is able to claim the Aegis as well as the Cheese. Now the Refresher on the way for the Tidehunter. He's picked up the recipe, and that first ring of health still has a little ways to go. And at this point, pretty much everyone needs to pull for buyback. So unless your buyback's on cooldown, you need to be very cautious about that unreliable.
This Anchor Smash Octarine core is actually pretty cool because he lifesteals every time that he Anchor Smashes. It's not a huge amount of damage because it's physical and it's getting reduced by armor and stuff, but still kind of a cool little idea to make his hero go a lot farther in teamfights. He's working on the Refresher, by the way. He's got 1 ring of health, he's got 2k gold, and he needs approximately 2,500 to finish that. And I dare say he's going to go all in and buy it, because if he uses Refresher, or if he blink Ravages, by the time his Ravage is up, he'll be respawned no matter what, right? If he buys back, what's he got? A Gush, a Mecha Blink, that's about it. Anchor Smash is good.
Good point.
But I feel like he should just go all in on the Refresher here, because if they get the right double Ravage, that's the game winning completely.
Yeah, no doubt. Now these dire supports are finally getting some farm. We'll see FNG make some progress towards an Aghanim Scepter, though still rather far away. The Rubik's the big one. Glimmer Cape and Blink Dagger. Since Will's been able to pick up these mobility items, we've seen a much bigger impact out of his Grand Magus.
CTY coming forward.
Yeah, only 1 outer tower remaining for Ehome, and looks like VP won't press the issue, at least not for now.
Phobos for now is just saving buyback. In case he does get killed at the start of the fight without using Ravage, he's going to need it. So that's the dangerous part.
Well, there's no point in just buying the extra pieces. You either save for buyback or you buy the whole Refresher. Okay,
but he's got the surplus.
Yep, 100 gold. So definitely want to pull for buyback till you can buy the entire thing. VP just doing the dance. They may want to wait out until they have enough gold for the Refresher.
I'm still trying to scout things out. He's got a Solar Crest, but I don't really think that's the item this game. The right click from Gyrocopter, he's got an MKB already. Does he have an item coming? It's an Observer one. Careful.
Oh, watch out. Oh, G, very far forward. Ehome maybe thinking about initiation here. Looking at Dire Vision. They don't have a hell of a lot. It is nighttime after all. Ehome.
He's thinking about ulti. No, he gets punched.
G. There we go. Walrus punch to get things started. Call down gets queued up from Illidan. Laguna Blade almost finishes off G. Can they get him? They will.
He's going to buy back.
Yang chases him down. Illidan also drops. Almost comes in with a Ravage, but BKBs were on. It's a disaster for the Dire this go-around. G comes right back into the fight. Gets off the Sonic Wave, but there's just no follow-up. He'll take a Walrus punch. Has to blink defensively. Now VP just trying to get out of here. FNG's TP gets interrupted. G locked in place. And this could be a dieback if they can catch him, but no. He'll make it out for now. Phobos falls to Yang. 4 dead on the side of VP. Really 5, including the buyback. And this could be it. Have Ehome finally done it here, Purge? It's nearly a 10,000 gold swing.
I mean, why did that fight go so bad? They got to initiate first, I guess. The Quap basically just ran away. I feel like he maybe should have used his BKB instead, honestly, because the first fight is tough. But Razor was just wrecking damage there. He must have sapped a lot from somebody. The Ravage was kind of weak. It went through 2 BKB heroes, caught 2 supports on the edge, but there was no follow-up, and you need the follow-up.
And The Ravage just, yeah, the BKBs were on. It's tough at this stage of the game. Finding that perfect Ravage is really difficult. They need him to initiate out of Fog, and instead it was Ehome that got the jump on VP.
Like, they shouldn't have been sitting around the tier 2 tower. Like, it's 54 minutes in the game. This might as well be a 70-minute game as far as I'm concerned. Tier 2 towers are nothing at this point. It's all about the team fight, and there's no way to sit there and let them fish for you for that long. And they let them fish, and they caught them.
Well, G throws a less than ideal ult there. Fills about 1 creep as they to siege. Buyback now used by the Tidehunter. There are 0 buybacks remaining for Virtus.Pro. This is it. They need to make a hold here. Remember, they don't have any tier 4 towers. So Throne is exposed in favor of Ehome. They get the tier 3 tower. There is a glyph for the Dire side. Razor will go ahead and pick up his Assault Kuros to make sieging even easier at this stage of the game. Rocket will chase him down. Okay.
So Ravage in 20, so they're not quite ready. Oh, they actually Glimmer caped him in. Ravage up in 2, but his whole team is very far back.
Yeah, they'll hold for now. Ehome don't press their luck. All right. Roche has respawned. This is Roche 3.
Basically nothing happened just now.
Yep.
Is what happened.
They got a tier 3 tower, which is basically nothing.
Yeah, pretty much. Roche is going to be there. They see it.
All right.
And they see a lot of Ehome back. Will they be able to rush for it is the question. They have pretty good damage.
Ehome have not scouted out the Roche pit. Taking a look at their vision right here, they only have a couple wards on the western side of the map, but nothing around the Roche area. It is VP that walks straight in. Can ROTK snipe the last hit again? He did it once.
Their team's going to get here in time, I think. It's not taking enough damage. And VP's got to be careful.
And looking at Dire Vision, they have no idea until they see the ice shards. They back out with Roche at about half health. In comes ROTK.
Oh, gets the blink.
Uses the Shivas, but will miss. Okay.
Oh, that was so close. If he got punched there, Tidehunter would have been forced to Ravage, and they would have had to take that team fight, but he barely made it out. Absolutely clutch escape. And now the dance for Roche.
Yeah, it's on a hairpin trigger here, and for VP, they just have no lane control in this top. They constantly have to worry about creeps coming in to poke their throne now that they're out of safety structures. Just 1 effigy remaining.
Same goes for Ehome, really. I mean, they've got the tier 4s up, but any bit that they can keep these alive is going to buy them time later in a point where it could be a base race.
Oh, nice track from Lanham. Gets that little bit of intel into the Roche pit to see exactly where Illidan is positioned.
Ice Shards, good steal. They can play with this. Blink forward.
ROTK goes in. They go right onto Illidan. He gets VKB'd, and he's dead. No buyback there. Laguna and Winter's Curse enough to lock him in place. Ehome will take the safe play and try to go for Roche while they have a 5v4 advantage, and then they'll hightail it straight to the Dire base.
Try this?
I think VP have to. Phobos, does he? Or maybe they just back out.
They're not going to win this fight, I think. Oh, he actually gets hit.
All right, they'll hand the Roche over. Sonic Wave.
She tries to steal the gold, but
noble effort. Short cooldown. Absolutely worth it to try.
The gyro is just worthless at this point. That's what's happening. He's getting Winter Curse by DDC. He's got a Blink Dagger. He just blink Winter's Curse, and then Lina throws an ult, and he's out of HP. He's only sitting at about 1700, I think, somewhere around there. So Lina ult takes off more than half, and they easily have the right click on top of that.
Yeah, he could really use a Satanic at this point, just for the extra HP and having some way to try and lifesteal through, but he's so far away.
Even that I don't think is going to matter. The Satanic's 500 HP. If the Lina really wants to, she just 2-shots him with the Refresher.
That's true.
And that's the issue. Like their main carry, like yeah, G's been doing great dishing damage out, but they really need a real carry to do the damage. You know what might be a solution? Lincoln Sphere.
Oh,
Either stop the Winter's Curse. He's popping his BKB in time, but all that stuff goes through Magic Immunity.
He's still just so far away, though. I don't think he'll have an opportunity to farm at this game.
G's got an Ultimate Orb right now. This could be a Hex, but I think it has to be a Lincoln Sphere. Because they need to keep the gyro alive.
It's their only hope.
Exactly. It's the only way to keep gyro stopping or not dying to the Lina ult.
This is so scary here, though, Purge. All 5 buybacks from Ehome are available. None of the buybacks are available for Virtus.Pro.
It's the last chance, and they've got their cooldowns. They're ready to go. Refreshers up on time.
Double Ravage.
He sold them back.
Oh, here we go.
Will they see it coming?
Well, it hasn't been revealed yet, so probably not. Glyph comes out right away to try and hold the barracks a bit longer. G off to the side. Phobos is smoked up.
Here he goes.
Broken. Ravage #1 connects on 2. ROTK will be able to BKB.
He's saving this again.
Phobos holding on to it for now. He hasn't even refreshed yet. Ehome taking a surprising amount of damage.
He catches
There's
the
the second Ravage. Illidan, he could go down.
Dead.
He's dead indeed. ROTK falls as G jumps out of the base. It's a good hold VP for now, but the buybacks from Ehome are coming. Now G inside of the base will be able to blink back. Barracks going down here, but Phobos coming out of the base. He's pretty tanky. Walrus Punch will lock him in place. Ice Shards to try and break up the back line. And now Phobos will certainly fall. The rest of VP on the back foot, headed towards the well. It's Yang in hot pursuit. He'll get the Ancient Apparition. G with the last-ditch Sonic Wave, but this seems to be the end here, Purge. It's Ehome that will take a 2-0 over Virtus.Pro and secure themselves top 4 in Group E of the International 5 group stages.
Oh, what an emotional game. Up and down. One team getting an advantage. VP getting the advantage back. They grabbed the core items, but in the end, the cores were just too strong against what VP were dealing with, and Gyro just didn't have the HP to survive those Lina ults. And CTY pulls through in the end with some awesome support play. Like everybody on Ehome just absolutely clutched it after